Like,
You know, you were that first and only friend the Fountain has had in so many ages. And you rejected that friendship. And then it had an anime-type personality where it said, if I can't have you as my friend, then no one can. And it blew up.
anime type personality.
Yes, also, you would get your con again to the hit points you get with your recovery, because when you're at Epic tier, you get triple your Constitution modifier added to recoveries.
Oh, okay. Well, I've definitely maxed out then.
Yeah. So, I mean, it only cost a recovery to tell the Fountain to go fuck itself.
You know, I think that was worth it.
I actually think that was worth it, too.
And the chance that, you know, it's going to put a contract to me. This guy said no! That's going to come back and bait me. I know it is.
Alright.
Yes, the Lich King is a baby.
The baby.
We didn't even steal from the Lich King. Pretty impressive.
That would be awesome. Could I steal?
Well, you guys discussed that before all the way back in who you wanted to give the Orb of Storms to. Like, whenever, like, you were gonna retrieve it from Creel. Like, Taraptus was offering to pay some money, and then a representative of the Lich King from Leon was offering to pay even more money. You guys chose not to steal from the Lich King then.
We could also, you know, we could have just went down a very, very dark campaign by going with the Lich King.
He wanted you to kill the intellect assassin. What's bad about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we would have gotten resources from him. So
and the Sword of Ruin.
Yeah.
What are you even doing, guys?
Let me remind you what happened the last time we got resources from the Lich King, alright?
Let's not.
If the white was freed from its icy prison.
Aranas is very disappointed in all of you.
That's right. Righto, kids. By electing to side with the Archmage and aid Superior Taraptus, you gain access to his boons. Specifically, the party is rewarded the following, as mentioned last session. 925 gold pieces, that's total, and not each. You have 5 Mind Rot potions, which I'll describe again, and 1 champion tier Cogwork Short Sword. Now, the Mind Rot potion, as it turns out, is a potion. Remember that you can only have 1 potion active at a time. When drunk, it grants an automatic success to the next death save made that day. But after that save is made, the drinker takes a -1 penalty to their mental defense until the next full rest. There is also the Cogwork Short Sword. It's a champion tier weapon, meaning that it provides a +2 to attack and damage. When you roll a critical hit with this weapon, your crit range expands by 2 for the rest of the battle. That's not a recharge thing, that's just a flat, always active all the time thing. So long as you roll critical hits.
Tempus already does that quirk, so I mean, I see this as a positive thing.
So, share the money, 1 potion each, and Tempus gets the little sword?
I say, let's be fair. Why don't you split the gold for, you know, between you 4, and I'll take the sword, because I mean that's pretty much focused for me, and I see that's a bit of a fair thing. I get the magic sword, you guys get the gold.
Alright, if you don't want money, sure.
I do know I already had a lot of money because I've not been in for a few sessions.
Uh-huh.
So.
Yes. And of course, a short sword still does a D8 damage for Tempus anyway, because he's a rogue, and things pretty much deal D8s across the board. Yes, then 925 gold pieces divided by 4 is 231 gold, 2 silver, and 5 copper. Now, several days have passed since your arrival in Horizon. You have had time to consider the various offers, and after making your selection, prepare for your journey. You will be traveling alongside the Marble Golem Astrid as escorts for Superior Taraptus. He has admitted to needing an extra day or 2. He cannot teleport so many people without extra preparations. Thus, you all have had both spare time and opportunity with Horizon, City of Wonders and Secrets. I want to know, what have you all been doing? Have you been changed in your time here? If so, how? Is there any roleplay you want to handle before leaving? And finally, is there anything you want to purchase before leaving? Note that, while I still have not updated the shopping list appropriately, you would have access to purchasing epic tier healing potions, oils, and runes at this point. You will need to consult the core rulebook for those prices. They begin on page 283.
Well, I believe Aranas has lots to C2 as I have spent all my
Oh.
relationship dice.
I have 1,290 gold if anyone's running a bit spare. That's also why I politely declined the extra gold.
Say I can at least get one epic tier healing potion.
How much are those?
They are 200 each.
Yeah, I'll get 2 of those too.
I'm gonna get the champion tier rune for 300.
I'm going to grab a few things as well. I've got 3 champion healing potions, 1 adventure rune, 2 champion oils, and 1 rejuvenation potion. Apparently I've got a mind drop. I'm pretty sure I don't have a mind drop.
You just got mine drop.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like...
You might have
Yeah,
gotten
okay.
a mind rot potion from something else.
No. That was the first time I heard of it last week, so I think I accidentally put that on my sheet.
Oh,
for
you might have
Tempus.
put it on in prep work, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna accept this offer.
Yeah, I think it was actually accidentally accepted, so just being honest about that one.
Last time, remember, last big fight, we needed a lot of healing potions to get people up.
Yep.
So, just stocking up a few of those.
Which page of the book was it again for the shop? Sorry, Grimith.
283.
283 tells you the prices of one-use magic items.
Thank you,
I-
Dark Brim.
I don't have any money left now, so
Do you need
Go
anything?
spend time with your family, right?
yeah, Geráck would like to
Yes.
speak to Farnir a bit.
Yes. One question I would have for you is what you would like for her to do. You want her to travel with you to basically the Wildwood? You want her to go home? Do you want her she's although she has been freed for a year at this point, she's just sort of been wandering, and this isn't exactly her lifestyle.
Yeah. Well, go home is not really an option, but
Yes, she definitely looks to you for guidance on this, on account of, you seem to know your way around better than she does.
yeah, he will say that it will certainly be dangerous, but that's the case wherever she goes. And
She would volunteer to stay in Horizon. Superior Teraptus would say that he would allow it. She could be a special guest of Pertinax and continue to remain in the House of the Silver Key. She has really enjoyed it there.
all right then, that would certainly be a good option. They are heading into dangerous terrain at the moment now, and that might be the best course of action for now, at least.
All right. In that case, your sister Farnir will fill you full of many gracious and worries about how you better come back safely. You're her only family that she has right now. She doesn't know what she'll do without you. She obviously can't go home.
I have survived worse things. You just try to enjoy yourself while you're here.
She will try so. Although you also are pretty confident that she'll be worried about you while you're gone and away from her.
Geráck will try to reassure her that he have survived worse things than the druids.
Yes, well, she cares about you and loves you enough that she'll worry about you anyway. Because that is her right.
Yep.
I have a bit of a question. Probably I'll ask the group. We're going with Teraptus here.
Yep.
Where we're going, what type of resistances do you think we'll probably need? Since, I have a bit of spare cash, I might grab some resistance potions because, last time bathing through some acid fire was a bit dangerous.
I would imagine not fire.
No,
Then
probably not
again,
fire.
Draco druids, so probably lightning would be a fair guess. But
Maybe.
hopefully we won't actually have to fight.
Well, I've got some spare money, and if I don't use it now, I'm probably I can use it later.
I would recommend getting some runes then, because they're always useful.
Runes are
I've
amazing.
got 3 adventure runes because I've now got a +2 weapon, so at least I can use the runes to just get a perk for the battle or something.
So you can get a perk.
Yeah. But you can also use the runes on your armor and stuff like that to get...
Already magic.
Oh, right.
And he has no spellcasting implement.
Oh well. Could you get Monster Runes?
I'll take them off your hands. I already have one champion tier 1 though, so
Yeah, I do as well.
I still have an adventure I want to use as well.
I'll back up.
I have 5 champion healing, 3 adventure runes, 2 champion oils, and I still have 700 gold to spend.
Damn.
So,
And 1 rejuvenation potion. So, like, I'm thinking of the resistance because...
You know, in energy resistance, I mean, there's no telling exactly what you might encounter. Maybe Tempus can remember, like, what did Fargus use? And the answer is that Fargus used a variety of different things.
Yeah, mainly
Fargus
fire
used
and
fire!
Fire elementals.
Yes.
fire and lightning,
Lightning.
and other stuff. But
Uh,
mainly fire and lightning.
Tempest will get acid, lightning, and fire champion ones.
Champion
So
ones.
that's
Okay.
100 gold.
Alright, so
What's the difference at the...
in the tiers, if you encounter an epic tier threat, your resistance will not apply. Your resistance only covers that tier and lower.
And it
This
feels
would be,
like
this would be
anything,
for the mooks.
anything champion
underlings.
tier that does elemental damage wouldn't be that big of a deal anyways, would it?
I don't know, it'd be like
That
fire
depends.
elementals and stuff like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
They can do some
Always
stuff.
summons. Probably elementals, honestly.
damage from a source that's higher tier than your potion will blow through your resistance.
Yes, you guys have just entered epic tier. You may still very well encounter champion tier threats. So it wouldn't be an entire waste if, you might find something that your resistance applies to. But there is a possibility you could encounter a threat that would just ignore your resistance.
Well, the way I'm looking at it is, worst to worst, they can always be used for some challenge or something to help a bit.
Yes. It's also...
environmental hazards.
Yes, environmental hazards, anything that's non-magical you would be immune to outright, effectively. So, like if you have like a potion that gives you resistance to fire, and there's like a giant like wildfire, like the entire an entire grove or like a field is like soaked in flames. You can just like run through it like naked, like make or fire angels or whatever. Wouldn't be hurt at all.
Okay. I got 1 energy, lightning, 1 acid, and 1 fire, all champion for 600 gold, leaving me with the tidy sum of 190 gold.
Remember not to spend all of your gold, guys, if you encounter an opportunity to buy like a hideout or like mercenaries or something, right?
For slaves.
Or slaves, yes.
Damn it.
Yeah, you need to sell them for the slave money again.
Yes.
He just deleted all of my data. Fucker.
Alright. So, that certainly, you certainly are answering the is there anything you want to purchase before leaving. Goger tackled some roleplay you wanted to handle before leaving, but I'll pitch the questions again. What have you all been doing? Have you been changing your time here? If so, how? And is there any roleplay that the rest of you want to handle before leaving?
Well, let's see. Was Aurelia changed from visiting Horizon? And the answer is yes. She's visited here twice, and it always went terrifyingly bad.
How has she changed now since then, Sheep?
Well, since then, the visit here and the different happenings have certainly ever so slightly tainted her opinion of the whole Archmage ordeal. While Teraptus himself seems like a good person, the same really doesn't seem to apply to the whole organization as a whole. The whole place just seems utterly wrong to Aurelia. The things that the people enjoy here, the things that the people do without even questioning whether they should. And just in general, she would rather leave sooner than later. Although she would probably take the opportunity of having free time to maybe wander at least a bit through Horizon, looking at like bookshops and such.
Sure.
There's probably a good amount of scholars and such around.
Yes.
And she does know a bit about alchemy, so maybe catching up on what Horizon thinks about alchemy is not the worst idea for her.
Mostly, most assuredly, Aurelia is treated here as an exotic creature, which, like in Dragonhall, those are really awesome, and in the Court of Stars, those are pretty cool too, and in Horizon, that's not inherently a bad thing. Aurelia has rehabilitated her image considerably with the Archmage. Pretty much everyone here knows to the extent of what she has done since Horizon accompanied her, effectively, the speaker. And many of them do have a favorable attitude and are welcoming towards Aurelia for the sacrifices that she's made, regardless of her motivations for doing them.
That's going to seem like a bit of a juxtaposition for Aurelia. She doesn't like this place, but this place likes her. Oh.
Yes. She's given quite a bit in support, and as it turns out, there are greater evils than what Aurelia has done. At least as far as Horizon is concerned.
Isn't that nice? Aurelia's not literally the devil. Thanks.
That's a different campaign. Anyone else?
Well, Aranas has been speaking to different people, trying to seek out information for our future deeds, and he has also been doing quite a lot of meditation and praying, and actually leaving the city of Horizon for a few days, I imagine. He has not really been much around you, except for when the discussions of what mission or what work we're actually going to take up was discussed, where he attempted to persuade the party to either go for the Orb of Storms and saving Leon, or saving Dwarf and getting the blade. The motivation behind this was that the artifacts could be used to bring this whole conflict into the eyes of the Court of Stars. However, his allies did not seem very interested in the court as such. The court by itself is a sleeping dragon, and, well, he knows well that it could change the outcome of everything here. He is beginning to see, perhaps more and more as he visits it, that the Empire's time is perhaps waning. He is beginning to not truly believe that there will be at least the Empire will not be as it were when this is done. He's seeing the sunset of things as they were, and in a way he's being melancholic about it.
How does he feel about the realization that he's going to be traveling to the Wild Wood instead of doing either of his suggestions?
Well, the Wild Wood is an interesting place. He's only been there once, and he rather liked it. The druids are a great force that can be either used for good and stability or for evil and slaughter of the Empire. He has quite a lot of opinion on which one it should be. And he really, in a way, is on the druid side in this whole conflict. He does not believe the Empire has acted fairly towards the denizens of the Wildwood, and their little sort of confined area has not even been respected as much as for the Empire to keep out of it. It is an unstable position, and, well, he is liking the ability to perhaps influence the outcome of what might happen there. Protecting the Streptus is perhaps less on his mind, as it's important that there is diplomacy and some discussion about this, but he doesn't really know this wizard, and Wizard didn't really seem like he's respectful enough, but this whole place, Horizon, has an eerie aura about it. It is full of people who think themselves perhaps a bit more than they should, and who do not respect the natural or the divine forces to the extent that they respect their own power, which is a dangerous hubristic sort of sensibility. It is perhaps something he can recognize from some of the people who have fallen to the Whispers of the Green. That sort of draw for power and knowledge that never ceases. It makes him uneasy to be here, and he is overall happy to leave. Although he is a bit sort of nervous about if he returns here, what state this place is going to be in. Especially if he's told about the fountain. Because, this is one of the places that the Wizard King definitely wants back.
News will most assuredly spread throughout the court, and not go much further than that. There's no telling whether Aranas will hear from it about it by an NPC. It'd be the primary determining factor, or whether Tempus or Aurelia would tell him, or maybe one of the others, because if they've been lingering around, they would have heard about it too.
Beyond that, he wishes to inquire as to Priestess Ulia and hear what she imagines she will do. Now that we're going to the Wildwood, she's not beholden to us, and he's sure perhaps that she sees other things as being more important. But
Priestess Ulia would then chastise you by saying, as a matter of fact, she is here to aid the group, as she would have preferred staying dead with El Renara, and El Renara told her to actually come back and be resurrected in the first place. And the Wildwood may very well contain the individual whom Ulia holds responsible for the whole affair, Aelor the Draco Druid. In short, she's coming with you.
all right. Well, it's not a great point in the favor of compromise, but if there's one thing the Great Silver Dragon was about, it was certainly compromise.
How witty. Yes.
Yes.
Anyone else?
How much of Aranas' opinion about like the Empire and this place and such would he like share with the others?
He would not directly say it because it would be disrespectful to say, well, I think your world is going to die, and there's nothing we can really do to stop it. But it can perhaps be seen in his demeanor when it's spoken about saving the Empire or some such, that he would simply get a little bit melancholic, or sort of look at you sort of young races, in a way, with sort of that slightly condescending elven look of it's sort of beautiful that they can still hope, or that they're so young and just they simply do not understand or know how the world works. Our people have been around for so long. We still remember all these things that have happened before, and we've seen this sort of thing before in history, in a way, will repeat itself. There once was another great empire that found an enemy who tried to destroy them with horrible magic. And, now the elven land is confined to a single forest, whereas once we had them all. Things are stable, however. Perhaps humanity will end in the same situation, but it'll be a tough ride to get there.
Okay.
Jasmine, throughout all of this, has been around. She's spent some time just quite a bit of time just kind of alone, away from most of you. Just in her room, for example, and just taking some time, especially considering, especially as though some of you might have certainly noticed the seemingly crown with her family's crest upon it. Meditations have been done, and well, maybe not Horizon has changed, Jasmine. What's happened here might have, or what happened at least coming up here. A variety of things, including, well, the resurrection she bore witness to upon the ship certainly had a profound effect on her as well. A moment of the gods, which she had never, in her mind, it was never something that had crossed it as an opinion, something she thought about. And equally spending time just trying to relax is brought back, well, some various memories for Jasmine, many of the past. Some of you have, as you may have noticed before, she's keeping a holy symbol closer to her, not the holy symbol though, of a god she always worshipped, but one that someone very close to her used to, her brother who's now long passed. But perhaps faith is not lost on her. Other than that, though, she hasn't been doing a whole lot, spending some time around, listening in on things that have been said around the taverns or the courts. Just generally she doesn't know Horizon that well, and it's a strange place to be sure. But
yes, you would also be encouraged to not go wandering too much without a guide.
Mm-hmm. But doesn't mean she can't mingle at the times where when there are people around and listen in.
Sure.
Try and learn what's been going on.
Sure, listens into quite a bit of things. Tell you what, why don't you roll me a d12?
I roll a d12.
Mm-hmm.
For 1.
Okay. Well, Jasmine, if you meet the Archmage, you're really meeting his astral projection. The Archmage's mortal frame is too frail to serve as the vessel of a soul that is supercharged with arcane energy. His real body is secreted away within a pocket dimension, and they say it's warped beyond recognition or humanity.
Okay then.
There's your rumor takeaway from mingling with people.
As Jasmine, who does not know a whole lot about like astral projection, is like, okay.
You what?
Goddamn wizards.
Alright. Aurelia mingled too. Sheep, roll me a d12.
Alright.
Come on, sheep.
Okay, let's see here. The Archmage has reached his personal limit in extending power toward the Empire, especially after all the recent bad news. How about that, right? The one person with the durability to shoulder some of this arcane burden is the Dwarf King. But he's going to let the Empire fall, so there won't be anyone to resist when he takes his weapons and magic items back.
Whatever you say, Horizon peasant.
Well, Aurelia did have a heated, connection with the Dwarf King for some time. He does like magic shit.
Does.
He does collect it. He'd be willing to give it some of it away for Tempus. Alright. Anyone else have anything?
Did Tempus go rumor mongering and see what he can find?
You want a rumor monger too, Gryph?
I'm curious to see what you can come up. I really am.
Alright, roll a d12.
Alright, let's see.
Okay. Well, I did have other options on the list that weren't included in the numbers, so you get one of those. Time moves a little bit faster in Horizon, Tempus. The sun takes a little longer to cross the sky. People get more done here because they literally have more time each day. But they also age faster. So people who spend their lives in Horizon mature faster and die earlier.
Well, that's just not creepy at all.
But you can't die of old age, we're fine.
Yeah.
You want to talk about Tempus at all, or does Goger want to talk about Geráck? We don't have to. It's just like maybe your character hasn't been changed much or shaped in some way by your time here and just wants to go.
Tempus wants to avoid pissing off any more potential ley line architecture because chances are he's not very good at talking to the Wizard King because he made things go boom.
Slowly sits down on the bench, then runs away.
He doesn't want to even risk sitting on a bench. The bench might talk to him. It's like, I was waiting for you to sit on me.
Oh, it'd be great for people troll you with ghost sound.
Which every kid does here.
Yeah, Geráck won't be doing that much other than talking to his sister. He will just basically prepare himself for the trip.
Alright. Okie dokie then. No problems here. The morning of your departure has come. Dun da da! Go away, Farnier. She goes back to sleep. It's just hey, did you know that? Well, that's a good point. I like that. I like it. Roll me a d12.
Sure.
You know, she's been gossiping with people in Dreamland. All right. Well, Geráck, did you know? That one's dumb. I'll give you another one.
Okay, sure.
There are giant crocodiles in the sewers?
My cousin... No, not that one either. No. Horizon is safe because it exists on a parallel dimension where the Archmage has godlike powers. Each time you visit Horizon and return, you might return to a different reality, one very similar to the one you left, but not exactly the same. The Archmage moves souls from reality to reality, setting up his bid to take over the worlds. Don't trust anyone who just got back from Horizon. They might not be who they think they are.
Now you're leaving her.
Exactly.
You know?
That's why I like this rumor better than the one that you rolled.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
Aranas will mention to you that if there is the most safe place in the world right now, it is probably the Elven Court. Just
Maybe. I don't know that, but we're not going there, are we?
no, we are not. But
Okay.
just something perhaps to remember.
So as I was saying, the morning of your departure has come. Astrid escorts you back into the Archmage's court, a dizzying array of hallways and atriums pulsing with couriers of magic. You are led into one particular room and immediately accosted by offensive smells, of sulfur and salt, of acid and dung. The brick square is brightly lit, with shells of archaic components along all four walls. Within the center is a circle of diamond dust, and etchings carved into the floor. Superior Teraptus is here, kneeling alongside the circle, adding the final touches. He's seemingly dressed for travel, covered in the weathered garb of an old traveler, than his ominous off-white robes. And next to him are a masterwork backpack and his staff.
Aranas will walk up in his elven plate, you know, looking all fancy and elven and diplomatic,
Glistening in the
Pompous asshole.
official,
yes, in the odd light of the room.
elven beauty overshining anyone who did anything, because you know
Mm-hmm.
the chosen folk.
Yes.